Welcome to Bay Sunday, everyone. I'm your host, Kenny Choi. A troll used to be a cute little doll. Not anymore. Trolls are known now to post anonymous, cruel comments and nasty memes. So who are these people? Well, a Stanford study on trolling says that anyone can become a troll. Is that shocking? Well, here to tell us more are the author's lead researcher, Justin Cheng, and Professor Michael Bernstein. Welcome to Bay Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great
So
to be here.
let's define what a troll is.
Right. So I think that there's really a public conception that a troll is this they're part of this small group of antisocial minority, that it's not really many people. But then what we find is that through our study is that these trolls are actually, they consist of a larger number of people than we actually think, and that maybe anyone could be a troll.
Yeah. What about the demographic? Are we talking about mostly men who are trolls, mostly women, young kids, old? What's the demographic for your typical troll?
Well, I think what's probably in your head is someone who's cooped up in their basement eating Cheetos, right?
Right.
Really, I think what we saw was that it's not this little small group of people, but essentially everyone. You, me, Justin, we all can easily become trolls for a moment on the internet.
Yeah. And Justin, this is part of your dissertation study and your PhD.
Yes.
So tell us, what did the study find after looking through all that data?
So really, we wanted to find out why trolling was so prevalent online, right? Why we always go to these comment forums and then we see all these posts. And then what we really find is that we found two things that can affect people and how likely they are to troll. First is mood. So if you're in a bad mood, you're more likely to troll. And also if you've seen troll comments by other users, that also increases your likelihood of trolling.
And tell me a little bit more about how this study was done and how long it took.
Yeah, so Justin did two things. First of all, we ran an experiment online where we took people and we put them into sort of a simulated discussion forum. But before they got there, they were either given a really hard task and told they did terribly at it, which put them in a bad mood, or they did a task and we said, you did fine, so they were in a normal mood. We also manipulated whether they saw other troll comments around or whether it was a more civil discussion. And they were having they participated in a debate about the primaries, the Democratic primaries in the US. And what we did is we measured the percentage of the comments that people then left that were troll comments, that were somehow trying to be mean, to be angry outside of the normal discussion norms.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just politics. Trolling can affect a lot of different topics.
Yes, definitely. So I mean, in addition to that study, we actually did an analysis on CNN.com. So we had millions of comments, which we then looked through. And then we can also kind of replicate these observations as well, just by looking at all the data that we have.
What about when you look at newspaper articles and you have people making comments, do you see that as being a problem that almost encourages people to become trolls and to comment in a nasty, mean-spirited way?
Well, so I think that certainly, when you're looking in the newspaper, right, a lot of these things are political, they're highly divisive, and you have this sort of in and out nature of an online comment where it's like, well, I think this person was an idiot to do this. Of course, it's easy to come in, and so I feel like if you and I are having a conversation in person, it's much easier to actually have a back and forth, to recognize the other person as a human being. But this sort of brief nature of online commenting makes it far more likely that people will come in, troll, and then leave.
Yeah. Now, Justin, what about you? Why did you decide to look into this topic?
So I think we are really we had this data set of lots of comments, and then just reading through them, then you kind of see oh, there's so much bad things happening online. Just trying to understand is it really just the small group of people, or is it really could it really be just any regular person who just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and just trying to understand what's going on with all these comments.
What about what's next for your study? Because I know that you might look into other topics and kind of expand this study.
Right. So I think there are interesting things here. So we know in general people can become trolls, but also trying to understand what the important groups of people who are more likely or less likely to troll. And also, I guess it's also important to try to think about what new discussion platforms we might be able to design based on our findings, right?
Right. If we know that anyone can become a troll, then you're going to design your discussion platforms differently. If you think it's a small group of people, you're just going to try to ban them as quickly as possible. But if it's all of us, maybe we should instead be thinking about ways to get people to cool off before they start commenting.
All right, Michael and Justin, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Coming up, a celebration with chefs and winemakers to honor Black History Month when Bay Sunday returns after this break.